or brazen members of a violent gun-toting gang of drug dealers who flaunted their wealth in an increasingly lavish series of music videos, have been imprisoned for a combined total of more than 50 years. They were convicted after a retrial at Nottingham Crown Court, which began on the 2nd of October, and were sentenced on Tuesday, the 28th of November 2023. The gang, which sold vast quantities of cocaine, crack cocaine, and heroin on the streets of Nottingham, Mansfield, Kirkby and Sutton-in-Ashfield, came to the attention of police after a series of shooting incidents in late 2018 and early 2019. They were finally brought down by a combination of covert police work and their own arrogance. In one incident on the 9th of May 2019, a member of a rival criminal gang was shot in the neck as gang leader and aspiring rap star Akeem Chand fired multiple shots at his car in a residential street. Between July 2018 and June 2019, the gang made huge sums of money, which they flaunted on expensive jewelry, designer clothes, holidays, and the production of music videos in which they bragged about their drug-funded wealth. At one point in March 2019, several members of the gang, who had almost no legitimate income between them, flew to Mexico's Caribbean coast, where they stayed in a lavishly appointed private villa and even hired a luxury motorboat yacht. Both were used as props in a professionally produced music video recorded on the trip, in which the gang boasted about dealing drugs, flaunted their jewelry, and wondered aloud how they could count all the money they were making. After failing under police suspicion, the gang became the subject of an extensive covert police operation, which caught the gang openly discussing the sale of drugs and the shooting of rivals. In August 2021, after a trial at Nottingham Crown Court, 6 men were convicted by a jury, 2 charges: conspiracy to possess firearms with intent to endanger life, and conspiracy to possess ammunition without a certificate. Each of them had previously pleaded guilty to conspiring to supply Class A and B drugs. They were jailed for a combined total of more than 120 years when they were sentenced in October 2021. On Tuesday, the 28th of November 2023, 28-year-old Jaden Gorwooder, formerly of Tenbury Crescent, Aspley, was jailed for 22 years after he was convicted of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, possession of ammunition, and conspiracy to supply Class A and B drugs. Jason Millety, aged 33, formerly of Longdale Road, Sherwood, was convicted of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, possession of ammunition, and conspiracy to supply Class A and B drugs. Due to a previous conviction for possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, he received a life sentence with a minimum term of 14 years. Damien Martin, aged 41, formerly of Whitton Close, Sherwood, was also convicted of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, possession of ammunition, and conspiracy to supply Class A and Class B drugs. He was locked up for 14 years. Zach Charles, who was a child at the time of the offences but is now aged 21, was convicted of conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. Charles, formerly of Bulwell, had previously been convicted of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, conspiracy to possess ammunition without a certificate, and conspiracy to supply Class B drugs, for which he was sentenced to 8.5 years. For conspiring to supply Class A drugs, he was given 18 months to be served consecutively increasing his total sentence to 10 years. Akeem Chand was the undisputed leader of the gang that controlled the sophisticated and highly profitable network of drug lines, mobile phone numbers used to advertise and sell drugs to customers. The drugs were then delivered around the county by a network of couriers and enforcers, each of whom collected the bare minimum of merchandise from a network of stash or safe houses in case they were ever stopped by the police. Those same safe houses were also used to store an array of modern firearms which would later be used in a mutually damaging tit-for-tat turf war with a rival gang. One of them, a property in Bestwood, was even used as a backdrop to a music video the group posted online. Police were alerted to the activities of the gang by a series of shootings, the first of which took place in Minver Crescent, Aspley, on the 13th of December 2018, when a shot was fired at a car suspected to contain rival gang members, an offence for which Chand was ultimately arrested. Things began to unravel for the gang on the 9th of May 2019 when Chand and Simpson, driving in the Basford area of Nottingham, had a chance encounter at a set of traffic lights with members of a rival gang. Insults are believed to have been exchanged, causing Chand and Simpson to go looking for their rivals. Around 15 minutes later, they found them and set up a hastily arranged ambush, with Chand exiting the vehicle as Simpson drove head-on towards the other car and blocked its path. Chand then approached on foot and fired a .44 caliber revolver at close quarters into the car. The bullet ricocheted around the vehicle and struck the victim in the neck. Showing a brazen disregard for the safety of members of the public, Chand then discharged several more shots as his victim sped from the scene in a panic. Unbeknown to him, the entire attack had been captured on the victim's dashcam, giving police a detailed account of what had happened. Only a few days later, on the night of the 12th of May, shots were fired at the empty vehicle of a gang member in an apparent revenge attack in Maregill Close, another residential street. Detectives at Nottinghamshire Police were convinced that the shootings were linked and that Chand and his associates were involved. As a result, a covert investigation was commenced into Chand and his associates. This captured the group conducting multiple drug deals and discussing the best wording for a text message advertisement they were planning to send out to tout their illegal wares. Crucially, the gang were head plotting a revenge shooting that would be carried out on the evening of 22nd of May in Hazel Hill Crescent, Bestwood, again targeted at a rival gang who had knocked one of Chand's associates off his motorbike. Two men on a motorbike eventually fired 4 shots at the building, shattering 2 windows and leaving bullets lodged in a living room wall. The cycle for tit-for-tat shooting was concluded on the 27th of May in Melbourne Road, Aspley, when a shotgun was fired through the window of Chand's then home address. Now armed with very compelling evidence, the detectives moved in and arrested the gang. Subsequent property searches revealed significant quantities of drugs, cash and guns, one of which was forensically linked to the Hazel Hill Crescent shootings. Detectives were not able to prove conclusively who pulled the trigger in every offence and successfully argued instead that the men had all conspired together to store and use the weapons in a way that posed a clear and obvious risk to life. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.